Does your furry friend take over your bed every night? It's time to reclaim your space while giving them the comfort they deserve with the coldest, cozy dog bed. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description to buy now on Amazon.
Donald Trump and Joe Biden traded barbs on social media after the current president's embarrassing gaffe where he confused the name of his predecessor and Vice President Kamala Harris. Biden was asked whether Harris could beat Donald Trump if she was top of the ticket at the start of a Q&A with the press to end the NATO conference, and answered in excruciating fashion. "Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president if I didn't think she was not qualified to be vice president," he said, triggering a Republican meme avalanche, with mashups of Harris and Trump appearing rapidly online. Trump took to his Truth Social page and immediately after and savaged the miscue. Crooked Joe begins his big boy press conference with, "I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, though I think she was not qualified to be president." Great job, Joe. However, Biden's account on X had a response for Trump that attempted to hit just as hard. "By the way, yes, I know the difference," he wrote. "One's a prosecutor, and the other's a felon." Ironically, today was initially scheduled to be the sentencing in those 34 felony convictions for Trump, but it was delayed after he seemingly secured immunity from a Supreme Court ruling. It was a rough day for the president, who hours earlier also confused the presidents of Ukraine and Russia. "Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin," he said before realizing he was meant to be introducing President Volodymyr Zelensky, who is very much currently at war with Putin. A gasp ran around the room. Some people shouted the correct name as the leader of the free world tried to rally. "No, we're going to beat Putin," he said, as if to suggest he simply had Putin on the brain rather than suffering a senior moment. Biden made clear in the press conference later that, despite the continued gaffes and speculation and ridicule of his health, he had no intention of pulling out of the race. But it leaves Democrats with a dilemma. Top donors, supporters, and key lawmakers have raised the alarm about whether the veteran is up to taking on Trump in November. With the final question of the evening, Peter Alexander of NBC News pointed out that he earlier muddled Harris, his own vice president, with Trump. "Right now Donald Trump is using that to mock your age and your memory," he said. "How do you combat that criticism? Listen to the other guy," he said with a smile. Biden wrote in a letter to Hill Democrats on Tuesday, "I want you to know that despite all the speculation in the press and elsewhere, I am firmly committed to staying in this race, to running this race to the end, and to beating Donald Trump." 2 weeks after Biden's terrible debate performance against former President Trump, questions are swirling on Capitol Hill about whether his leadership will help or hurt down-ballot Democrats. On Thursday, Peter Welch of Vermont became the first senator to ask Biden to drop out, joining over a dozen members of the House of Representatives. One of them, Alaska's Marie Gluesenkamp Perez, became the first to suggest President Joe Biden should resign from office in a stunning statement. Reports indicate that Democrats across Congress may come out against the president after his speech Thursday evening in an effort to not undermine the country's leader as he manages delicate foreign relations.